Before a single European sets foot on American soil, the story has already been written for them. Not by experience, not by evidence, but by the machinery of the feed, headlines engineered for outrage, strangers on the internet speaking with absolute confidence about a place they have never visited. Here is what nobody tells you. The people who warn you away from a country are rarely the people who have ever been there. They are repeating a script, and the script has a purpose.
Would you ever move to America?
No, never. No.
No interest in moving there. It's a complete hole.
No, because I am transgender.
You'd step over there and you already lose like 10 of the rights that you have here.
It's a disgusting place. They've got no NHS whatsoever. It's an absolute dump.
I wouldn't last a minute over there, I don't think. It's definitely stricter over there than it is over here. 1000%. If I was...
Listen to what they actually said. A complete haul. A disgusting place. An absolute dump. No NHS. I wouldn't last a minute. Not one of those judgments was earned by standing on American soil. Every one of them was inherited, borrowed from the same stories the traveler was told to trust. And here is the crucial detail that gets lost. Certainty is not the same as knowledge. You can be absolutely certain of something and be completely wrong about it. The person who goes and looks will always know more than the person who only repeats. Now watch what happens when the plane lands. And yet they keep coming. Not in spite of the warnings, in numbers that suggest the warnings never quite reach their ears. Because there is a difference between being told a country is dangerous and arriving to find it calm. The first contradiction does not announce itself. It simply appears, usually in the least expected place.
Don't go to America, they said. Super dangerous and really not worth it. I have just woken up in the Sierras. Just me looking at the sun. Touching the early morning sun, touching the top of the mountain.
Notice what is absent from that moment. No fear, no hostility, no crowded street of danger. Just one traveler, a mountain range, and the early sun touching the peaks. The country they were warned to fear is showing them something the news feed never scheduled, not a headline, but a quiet, unscripted morning. This is the first crack in the narrative. And here is what makes it so powerful. It did not require a protest, a statement, or a counterargument. It required only that one person actually go and look. Every clip you are about to see follows the same logic. Each one is a small piece of evidence stacked against a story told at a distance. And the cracks, once they begin, only widen. But the true test was never the scenery. A country can be beautiful and still feel unwelcoming. The question these travelers carried was simpler and far more personal. Will anyone here actually want me around? They had been told the answer was no. What they found was something else entirely.
Hey, bonjour à tous. If one day you're planning to visit the US, be careful. Because you might have to stay way longer than you planned. Not because of the places, I mean they have amazing places, but because of the people. I've lost count of how many Americans told me, for example, like, oh, if you go to Texas, let me know, I'll show you around. Or so crazy, people you've never met are willing to show you the places where they live, the city, and make sure you have a great time here in the US. And that's something that I really love about America.
This is the second contradiction, and it is the one that breaks the story in half. The same country described to them as hostile is being offered to them by strangers who ask for nothing in return. No transaction, no tourist trap, just the quiet hospitality of people proud of where they live and eager to share it. Think about what that takes. A complete stranger opening their home, their city, their routines to someone they will likely never see again. That is not a statistic you can measure easily, and that is precisely why it never makes the news. Kindness is not dramatic. It does not generate outrage. It just happens over and over in ways that only the people present ever witness. And then came the moment that turned this from a handful of travel stories into something larger. A single event that compressed millions of people, dozens of countries, and a lifetime of mutual suspicion into one shared space. They called it a sporting event. It was, in fact, a live experiment in human nature.
So they came. Warned by their media, they were told it was dangerous, a police state, that people would get shot or taken off the streets and deported. And then something happened that nobody planned for. Millions of people from all over the globe raised on completely different stories about each other, ended up in the same parking lots, bars, and on the same streets in America. The Scots drank Boston completely out of beer in one night, not one fight. Fans from countries whose governments despise each other were exchanging numbers and taking photos. Americans were inviting strangers into their homes for no reason at all, just because. And here's what...
Now we have the evidence, and it is not anecdotal, it is statistical in scale. Millions of people, raised on completely different stories about one another, ended up in the same streets, the same bars, the same parking lots. And what happened? The Scots drank Boston out of beer in a single night, not one fight. Fans from countries whose governments despise each other exchanged numbers and took photographs. Strip away the feed, the politics, the carefully programmed fear, and people do what people have always done. They eat together. They drink together. They discover they were never enemies to begin with. The experiment returned a verdict no news bulletin ever printed. And that verdict did not arrive by argument. It arrived by millions of people simply being together. But no story about America would be complete without its moment of comic relief, because America does not always cooperate with the narrative the way visitors expect. Sometimes the country itself decides to remind everyone who is really in charge. And for a group of travelers who came expecting the worst, the country delivered something they never saw coming.
Well, boys, I've had serious karma with this one, yeah? You're gonna fucking love this. Flight is delayed by 4 hours. It's been a massive tornado here in America, yeah? Every single flight delayed. Our incoming flight's gone to a different airport across the state. 4-hour delay, flight might be cancelled. Don't come to America. Take everything back I said. You don't get this in Europe. You don't get tornadoes, you don't get hurricanes. Honestly, fuck America. You do not get this in Europe. I take it all back. I'm sorry.
There it is, the reversal, delivered with the exact energy of a man whose entire worldview has been upended by weather. A 4-hour delay, a tornado, flights canceled, and in the middle of it, the most telling line of all, I take it all back. I'm sorry. Now ask yourself why that line is funny. It is funny because we can hear the truth underneath it. These are not the words of a man who hates the country. They are the words of a man who arrived expecting the worst and discovered, to his own surprise, that he was having a wonderful time. The complaint was never about America. The complaint was that he liked it more than he was prepared to admit. Even his frustration is a kind of love letter. So what actually changed? These travelers arrived carrying a script written by strangers, and they are leaving with a story written by their own eyes. That is the transformation this journey was always about. It was never really about the scenery, and it was never about the food. It was about the collapse of a story they had been told.
Since we've arrived in America and everybody's seen it online, we've had loads of comments telling us that we're crazy and it's not the right time to come, and loads of stuff about tourists and being dangerous and things like that. Certainly New York, people have said it's really unfriendly, but for us, as a family, we've completely found it the opposite. We've had loads of people being super welcoming to us, really, really nice. We're walking around, we're in Times Square right now, no issue whatsoever. We've also been around at night on the subway. We've literally had no problems. And
listen to the language of that family. The opposite. No issue whatsoever. No problems. Every single clause is a direct rebuttal to a warning they were given before they ever landed. And that is the pattern running through every clip you have seen today. The people who actually went are not reporting what the headlines predicted. They are reporting the opposite, in real time, from the ground. That is not coincidence, that is data. 7 different voices, 7 different countries of origin, and the same conclusion arriving independently each time. When evidence gathered from experience keeps disagreeing with the story told at a distance, at some point you have to ask which one is telling the truth. Let us state the conclusion plainly. What these visitors found was not on the news because the news was never designed to show it. It cannot broadcast a stranger's handshake or a Scotsman buying a round of beers. Those moments do not fit the story, so they were simply left out. And there is the deepest insight of all. Notice that the sharpest criticism in that clip is not aimed at America. It is aimed at home, at the coldness we have normalized, at the phones we hide behind, at the habit of walking past one another without a word. Because what these travelers found in America was not an exception. It was a reminder. A reminder of what every country could feel like if we chose warmth over suspicion and connection over the safety of looking away. That is what was not on the news. That is what they found. And that is the real story, one that cannot be reported, only lived. Take care of yourselves, stay curious, and keep advocating for your own understanding of the world. I will see you in the next one.
Us Brits love the USA. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll tell you why we love it. Firstly, the people. Secondly, it just feels so good to be out of the UK. In the UK, we don't have much sun. Here, you have sun at least 90% of the time.